conception of justice. They believe that justice should be controlled by citizens like you and I. But is this really the case? Are we really in the best position to uphold justice? My answer to that is no. But firstly, on to my two areas of contention. Firstly, whether unintentional harm is justifiable, and secondly, whether justice is the aim of justice is to protect a victim. Firstly, on to my first area of contention, whether unintended harm is justifiable. Our side says that no, unintended harm is not justifiable by law, and decisions acted upon impulse is no justification to evade punishment. We say that any decision made even under impulse is still a decision nonetheless, and the person who made that decision should bear the full responsibility of his decisions, because what he has chosen, the decision-making culture that he has adopted, has indirectly funded criminal acts, and this is not what we wish to achieve. We believe that we believe that even though he has no intent of causing harm, he has indeed inflicted harm upon third parties, and this is what we do not wish to achieve. And even if there is no intention of harm, is that really what we wish to do? Is that really the message that we wish to send across? That it is perfectly okay to commit harm if we have no intention to. Is that really? Sir, no, thank you, sir. Because at the end point, it still contributes to such kidnapping cases, and it still undermines the social security of a society. And secondly, on justice, whether its aim is to protect victims, our side says no. Justice is a societal justice that's aimed at the greater good. We look at the greater goods that benefits the whole of society, and we say that individual rights should not override that of the entire society. And we say that ransom, firstly, it is not true that ransom do help in ensuring the safety of hostages, because according to statistics released by the U.S. Criminal Activity Bureau, 45% of all kidnapping acts that involve the payment of ransom still culminated in the deaths of the hostage nonetheless. And secondly, even if it is able to ensure the safety of the victim, we have no thank you, sir. We have to ask, what is the bigger picture here? Is the safety of one victim really more important than the collective safety of the entire society? Do we really wish to sacrifice the safety of an entire society, sometimes even international communities, just because of the safety of one individual? We say no, thank you, sir. We say no. We say that it is for the greater good, and even though we may sacrifice one or two lives in the process, we say thousands. We say thousands, even millions of lives in the process. And now on to my substantive about how the payment of ransom obstructs the process of justice. Our side believes that justice and law enforcement should be upheld by the relevant authorities in power and by them only. Why so? Firstly, they understand the law best. Secondly, they are an extension of the government. Thirdly, they have the relevant resources and sufficient expertise to do so. And lastly, this sends across a message of justice to society. In the first tier, the payment of ransom obstructs justice as it hinders the process of cracking down on these criminals, on these kidnappers. It allows these kidnappers to get away scot-free and give them leeway and the financial means to escape after committing a crime. This will make them more This will make them more elusive and hinder the process of investigation. And we believe that citizens should not take justice into their own hands, as it prevents the police forces from investigating such crimes. We have to ask ourselves regarding the payment of ransom. Have we really achieved justice in their paradigm, or is it merely an illusory deception? Because paying ransom, we say, aids in the non-detection of criminals and increases their ability to commit such acts. No, thank you, sir. And the main reason why such acts are so rampant is precisely because the police force is kept in the dark when ransom is paid. They are not informed of such acts. They remain ignorant of such acts. And the criminals, they are able to get away scot-free. And is this what we really want? And we concede that although there is a possibility that amicable settlement may be achieved via the payment of ransom. We have to understand that firstly, this is not always the case, as I have mentioned earlier, that 45% of all kidnapping acts in North and involving ransom culminated in the death of the hostage. And secondly, even if it is resolved peacefully, does it do anything to bring about safety to the hostage? Quite the contrary, because these hostages, they have displayed their willingness to comply, they have displayed their conformity, and this sends across a message to kidnappers that these hostages for subsequent kidnaps of these hostages, and this has psychological detriments. And no, thank you, sir. And thirdly, it ultimately does nothing to enhance the process of justice and to enhance societal security in the long run. Why? Such kidnapping cases, which are resolved in the payment of ransom, often go unreported to the relevant authorities. No, thank you, sir. This hinders the process of bringing these kidnappers to trial due to the simple fact that the police would be uninformed. And this is not what we want. We aim to achieve a peaceful environment for all members of society, not only for singular individuals. We aim to achieve stability that could be sustained for a long term instead of resolving such cases personally. And lastly, it sends across a message that the payment of ransom sends across a message that legal action is inadequate, and we do not wish to do so, because we do not wish to encourage citizen vigilante and encourage them to take justice into their own hands, because this is detrimental to ongoing legal efforts. And we say that justice should be left to the police, and ransom payment is not the kind of message. We do not wish to send a message to society that justice is quantifiable, that it could be calculated in terms of monetary terms. And this is not, in any case, the mentality that we wish to inculcate. We are pushing for justice, and we say that at any cost, justice should be preserved by the DEA, the FBI, police officials, and we believe that the enforcement of justice ultimately